Assalamu alaikum. Today is our ninth lecture, and today's lecture is about capacitance. So we will study about the what is capacitor, its applications, what is capacitance, and then we will study about capacitor in series and parallel, and in the end we will do some numerical. So let's start with the definition of a capacitor. In this picture you can see a two-leg component that is called a typical capacitor, and you can see in your all the electronic devices. So what is a capacitor? A capacitor is a component which has ability or capacity to store energy in the form of electrical charge, producing a potential difference across its plates, much like a small rechargeable battery. So in simple words, a capacitor is a type of small rechargeable battery. What it mean is that it can store energy in it. Talk about the layout of the capacitor. A capacitor is a device used to store electrical charge and electrical energy. It consists of two electrical conductors separated by a distance, and these distance are these two legs of the capacitor. It consists of two electrical conductors separated by a distance. Noted that such electrical conductors are sometimes referred to as the electrodes, but more correctly they are capacitor plates. So these two legs shows the two electrodes of capacitor. The space between capacitors may simply be a vacuum, and in that case a capacitor is then known as a vacuum capacitor. However, the space is usually filled with an insulating material known as dielectric. So they are talking about the space of space of between the plates of these two electrodes, this one and this one. So mostly the space between it is vacuum inside this round shell. Vacuum, if it is a vacuum then it is called a vacuum capacitor, otherwise it is filled with a dielectric material. Capacitance, what is capacitance? Capacitance is nothing but the ability of a capacitor to store the energy in the form of electrical charge. So how much the energy a capacitor can store is called its capacitance. In other words, the capacitance is the storing ability of a capacitor. It is measured in farads, and the formula for capacitance in farad is charge stored divided by voltage across the capacitor measured in currents. So now we know what is a capacitor. Capacitor is a, you can say, a small rechargeable battery or a component which can store energy. Layout of a capacitor, it has two plates, or you can say two electrodes, and the space between those two electrodes are vacuum. Sometimes if it is a vacuum then it is called a vacuum capacitor, or otherwise it is filled with an insulating material known as dielectric. Now we talk about the working of a capacitor. So this theory you can read. I will explain from the diagram. So look at this diagram. Here is one capacitor, this one, and this is our voltage source. So this type of capacitor is called parallel plate capacitor. Why parallel plate capacitor? Because there are two plates, this one and this one. So there are two parallel plates, so it is called a parallel space capacitor. It consists of two parallel plates separated by a dielectric. So this is the dielectric. Dielectric material is in between these two places. So this is not a vacuum capacitor, because if there was no dielectric, then it is called a vacuum capacitor, but there is a dielectric between these two parallel plates. So when we connect a DC voltage source across the capacitor, this is a voltage source, and we connect it with the capacitor, DC voltage source across a capacitor, one plate is connected to the positive end, plate 1, and the other plate of to the negative end, plate 2. So this is the positive of our voltage source. It is connected with the positive plate of a capacitor, and the negative side is connected with the negative plate of a capacitor. When the potential of a battery is applied across the capacitor, plate 1 becomes positive with respect to plate 2. At the steady state condition, the current tries to flow through the capacitor from its positive plate to its negative plate, but it is unable to flow due to the separation of these with an insulating material. So you can see, whenever a voltage is applied on these two plates, the plates connected with the negative terminal of a battery become negatively charged, and positive side of the battery connected with the plate, it becomes the positive charge plate, but current cannot flow through the between them because of the dielectric material. Let's go further. Now we see this picture. An electric field appears across the capacitor. Why electric field is created? Because both plates are now charged, negative and positive. So an electric field appears across the capacitor. The positive plate assimilates positive charges from the battery, and negative plate 2 will assimilate negative charge from the battery. After a point, the capacitor holds a maximum amount of charge as per its capacitance with respect to this voltage. This time span is called the charging time of the capacitor. So when the current is flowing to the positive plate and the negative plate, the capacitor will start charging, and after some time, it depends upon the value of the capacitor or its capacitance. So the charging time when complete, then this time span is called the charging time of the capacitor, because the charging time depends upon the value of the capacitor. Like we study about the resistor, its values and its range in our last lab. So same like that, capacitor also has its values, and its charging time depends upon the value of the capacitor. When the battery is removed from the capacitor, the true plate holds a negative and positive charge for a certain time, thus the capacitor acts as a source of an electric energy. So once the capacitor is charged, if we remove the battery, then act as a this capacitor will act as an electrical source of energy. So now look at this diagram. Here we remove the voltage source. If these plates are connected to a load, because after removing the bond, if these two plates positive and negative, they are connected with the load, the current flows from the load to the load from plate 1. This is our plate 1, because current will flow from positive to negative. So the current flows from the load from plate 1 to plate 2 until all the charges are dissipated from both plates. This time span is known as the discharging time of a capacitor. So actually what happened? A voltage source is connected with the capacitor and the plates start charging positive and negative, and after a specific time, depending on the capacitance of a capacitor, it will complete its charging, and after it completes its charging, we will connect it with the load, and the current start flowing from the positive to negative, and this current will keep flowing till the charging of the capacitor will complete, and this time is called the discharging time of a capacitor. So from all these figures we came to know that the basic or the most uh, basic definition of a capacitor is it is a like a type of charging battery, because it has a charging time and it has a discharging time. So this means a capacitor stores the energy, use that energy, and again start charging. So now we talk about the application of capacitance. So where these capacitors are nowadays used? Since 18th century, capacitors are used to store electrical energy. Individual capacitors do not hold a great deal of energy, providing only enough power for electronic devices to use different temporary power outages, or when they need additional power. There are many applications that use capacitors. For example, in our audio equipment, if you check your audio equipment, you will see a number of capacitors there in our camera flashes, because it also need to store the charge and then release the charge. In our power supplies, of course, in magnetic coils, and of course in the lasers. So these are the applications, and some applications we will discuss. Capacitors for power conducting. So one of the most important application of capacitor is conditioning of power supplies. Capacitors allow only AC signals to pass when they are charged, blocking DC signals. So most commonly you will find the capacitors inside the power supplies. Okay, inside the sensors, no matter it's for humidity, mechanical strain, or any type of fuel sensor, there is always a capacitor used in that, because sensor always sense the whatever for what it is made of. So for that we always need a storage charge, and we use capacitor for that. Capacitor for signal processing, like capacitor is used for all the RF equipment, radio equipment, speakers, equalizers, this type of all the communication equipments or devices. Okay, before moving to the capacitance in the series, I will show you a video that is related to these pictures, that how a capacitor is charged and how a capacitor is discharged depending upon the size of the capacitor. So watch that video in the second part of this video.